stab him?
Yes. Then he goes, but you realize something. You don't stab in the face, too many bones. You stab in the neck.
Oh my.
Dayroom Daily, Mac the NYC. I'm here with Chulo Papi.
You're.
I'm here with Lady J.
Hello.
Yo, her intro was so trash.
She's so nice. Like,
Yeah, no.
hello.
That shit was trash. You feel sympathy for her and nothing even happened to her.
What am I supposed to say? Hello, 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 hello.
You sound like a victim.
Say,
Like, oh my God.
You got a victim hello. Okay, we hitting this early.
Now change it.
We're gonna see how we moving today.
Wait. Hello. No, never mind.
That's the same
I'll practice
thing.
next time.
Yeah, you could keep that one. That shit sounded trash. Sounded like you was trying to be sexy, but you was like the fat chick out of breath.
That's fucked up.
Yep, those noises right there. I don't know what the fuck that. Oh no, I know what
That was
noise
my
that was.
disgusting.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Fuck y'all both.
She's not fat, but she could have been fat. You know, you wouldn't be able to tell. She don't want to get on camera anyway. But, dude, she got big ass titties. That
Jesus Christ.
All right, hold on. But yeah, so Lady J, Chulo Papi. We don't have no guests tonight, so we gonna see how this flows. I don't have a problem being by myself on this camera. Actually, I prefer it. I actually like it.
He's trying to convince himself.
He likes the attention.
I do. I fucking love attention. This is why this was made for me. I love
This
the
is
fact.
why who you are. That's why.
I don't do this for fun. I do this because this is my therapy. This helps me relax. This gives me a reason to actually see my peoples. Have everybody a social event, social gathering. What are you seeing? Are you seeing it come from there? Look right there.
No. I was like, okay, which one is your mic? Which one is his? But I'm seeing it. I see it.
I'm one today.
I thought you was pointing at the alcohol, man.
Oh no, I'm on.
No, that's why I was just looking at it to make sure.
I'm on that clear stuff
Who's
tonight.
And
A lot of
he's
y'all
too.
don't get to see it. I don't know if this is gonna get edited out.
No.
But normally she always says something about the mics or some technical difficulty
I
going
didn't
on.
say anything.
I'm saying normally, like every episode, you're like, nah, this ain't going wrong, and nothing be going wrong.
I'm just showing what it looks like. You told me to watch out for certain things. That's what I did.
You know what is it, man? She just want to talk on the mic. That's all it is.
Bars.
First of all, shut up.
Nah, you do. Lady J does a phenomenal job for us, so we definitely appreciate her here. We got coming up. We got a good lineup coming up. So I want to make sure I'm on point for that. Like I said, today is clear alcohol. I don't normally do clear, and it's not the Migos. I'm not on the Migos because I don't feel like fighting. You feel me? I feel like taking it easy, so I'm on my diet shit because I see how I look, and if I lose 20 pounds, I'm going to be stunting on you hoes. So it's the goose. It's the goose and the soda. The goose and the soda. Shout out to the last week. Shout out to this week. When I say shout out to the last week, shout out to this week, I mean shout out to the guests that we had for the prior episode. Y'all gonna see it. It's not up yet. It'll be up soon. This part is probably gonna get edited out, but it's gonna be up soon. But I do want to start off. We're gonna start off every episode from now on, just to make sure we're on a positive up note, upbeat. Before I start tearing into motherfuckers. Pause. But I need to make sure that we're on an up note and an upbeat. I need for Chulo Papi to give his Outstanding Officer Award. I need you to come up with a name right now of somebody who is an outstanding officer. It doesn't have to be in corrections. I mean, overall, an outstanding officer that you have met in your lifetime or somebody that you just want to recognize.
Yeah, man, that's hard.
Is it hard because there's a lot of them, or is it hard because there's so few of them?
Nah, it's a few people that I could name. It's just
Don't worry, every week is gonna be something.
I learn from different people, man. I always take advice from a lot of people, and then I just whatever works for me, that's what I take from them. You know, because at the end of the day, everybody's gonna be their own officer. No matter what agency, corrections, NYPD, boom, boom, boom. So what is it?
Well, last week we had for the last episode we had wrote in. I need you to think of one. I'll give you some time. Monday, I said my officer appreciation award was going to go out to Owaji. So I might mix this with the last episode. I don't know if you remember Owaji, Mister.
I got you. I got you right now, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to Oh, I remember YG.
Didn't complain for shit and took all overtime.
African dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that dude.
Didn't complain for
good
shit.
guy. He's a good guy.
All overtime. Like if you wanted to get out, that was the first man you would try to when you was able to get out by handing your overtime off of. He was one of the first people you could hand your overtime over to.
All right, I got you right now, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy O Johnson. I'm gonna give him a huge shout out because everybody thought he left the department and he's still there working hard, man.
Apparently, he's still on the job.
I give him a shout out, man. That's my boy, man.
Like I said, if this was 1959, he would have been the best officer you ever worked with. It's hard to say that nowadays. He's by the book. He's definitely by the book. There's no real swag to him but the book. That rule. So I guess he got a rule book swag. You know what? I'll let you get away with that.
Yeah, I give it to him only because everybody thought like he was gone. And he's still in the department and he's still working.
Apparently he in trans, right? Well,
so
apparently
he's somewhere, man.
He's
Hopefully we get him on the show soon.
I do want to have him on.
And he could tell his side of the story.
Like I said, I have nothing bad to say about this man other than he was a character.
Push the mic back a little bit.
Shout out to Cassis as well because you ought to say female Cassis, male Cassis, right?
I'm gonna say which
male Cassis, because we told the old Johnson story about him and CB, and he hit the page up. He was like, "Yo, it's crazy," because I was there for that search. It was one of the stories that I had, and I was like, so people know what I say is actually real, fake. People know. But yeah, no, I was there for. You had to see this man in action. 1959, he would have been the officer of the year. 20, yeah.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day, when I say by the book, he was by the book.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully we get him on soon, and you know he could tell his side.
Well, yeah, we got special guests coming up soon, and I like every week I'm gonna highlight a new officer. So those are the officers. We're gonna do O Johnson. We're gonna do Iwaji. And if anybody knows Iwaji, send him this clip because I don't have his number. That man was different. Shout out to that man, and he made fun of me for a whole 6 months for unrelated issues because he seen me had my nose up in some nose up in some chick, and he was like, "She don't like you."
It was the accent, man.
Yo, his accent was crazy, but this man never turned down overtime. You won't get I can say it now because they won't get this because it was edited out crazy. But he wouldn't turn down overtime, and he would always say, "In my country," he said, "I didn't come from my country to be broke."
Amen.
So wherever he's from, I'm pretty sure they had child slaves and people dying. So that man, DLC is a cakewalk. Third world country problems for him. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so I'm outlining Iwaji, you outline O Johnson. Lady J, you know any officers that you want to outline? Oh, you don't know no officers? You don't like officers or something?
I know you.
Shout out to me. I think she just said.
I know you. I know E. That's it.
E to 6'4"?
Yeah.
All right. E to 6'4" probably will never make an appearance on the show.
I'm pretty sure he
Best
won't.
fucking friend. He'll probably never come on the show. He might.
It's some people like that, man.
He might. He's doing real positive shits in the other way, in other steps. So he probably never make it. But yeah, so that's what it is. All right, so let's start this show off. I sent you a few topics.
You could have sent them to me too.
Yeah.
You said what?
You could have sent them to me too.
I told you I don't like sending you topics because I like to see the civilian aspect of things.
Okay.
So we can start off with the first topic, which was
Assaulting officers.
assaults on officers. All right. Let's get serious real quick. Hard for me to get serious real quick. Like I said, I'm on that fucking goose. But assaults on officers. I brought this topic up because I know we're like at an all-time high for assaults on officers.
Facts.
And not just in the jails, but on the outside as well. And this is going to tie into the
Yeah, any law enforcement department, like
assaults on officers are up,
we see it out there. It's all over social media and all that.
and it's hard to distinguish. Like, it's hard to think about what to do in a situation like this. This goes back to my training, because if you're somebody about that life, you don't even want to get into fights.
Yeah.
You don't want to go hands on with nobody. And officers are now getting assaulted at an all-time high, alarming high rate. So we just watched we watched a video where an officer, I believe he killed the man that was coming after him. But when I say an officer assault, in this case, DOC's case, an officer might an inmate might throw piss on an officer, might swing on an officer, throw shit on an officer. And before I even go to the case, I want to know, have you ever been assaulted? Well, we know you have.
Nah,
Story got
bro.
cut. The story got cut.
Oh, the story. Yeah, that was.
You have been assaulted.
That was. But that I think that's a different situation, man. Like
No,
it's.
and you.
Yeah, because I was suited up for that. You feel me?
Yo, you still got assaulted though. You're gonna classify it as different.
Yeah.
But
You're
we're
right.
gonna say assault
It's
is
still
assault.
an assault. It's an assault. It's an assault. Yeah, you're right. But,
First, all right, you got suited up. You were assaulted.
yeah.
I was assaulted. I got stitches. Like, I don't know if you're gonna see this. I got the raise on my arm right here. Shit is. I'm
Yeah,
disfigured.
I went to physical therapy, the whole 9 yards. You know.
So when you got assaulted, or I should say, let's start off with, what was the worst assault that you ever was a part of,
That happened to me personally.
or that you witnessed, that you were there
I
for?
would.
Because all preference this with officers getting assaulted is horrible. No officer goes to work wanting to put his life on the line. We just know we might have to put our life on the line.
Yeah, man. Everybody wants to go in and leave home and come back home the same way. That's our main goal as law enforcement officers. No matter what law enforcement you are, if even on the other side of the country, that's every law enforcement.
Everyone's the way you come in is the way you come in is the same way you want to go out.
That's
So
it.
if I come in good, I want to go out good. My intentions are never to cause bodily harm to somebody. Nobody ever wants to be up there. Nobody ever wants to actually go hands on. We're ready to go hands on, but we're prepared to do it. It's not a want. That's how I take it. That's how I know most officers take it. It's not a want. I don't want to go to work and be like, I can't wait to fuck somebody up.
I appreciate you saying most officers.
Because you do have cowboys. You have cowboys that might come to work like, I can't wait to fight.
Yeah, those are the ones that always get hurt too.
Yeah, or they
be the first ones to run away.
They're first ones to run away or get you hurt. And
Yeah.
I can't
Start
stand
the
that.
bullshit.
As an officer, it's not your duty to want to fucking fight. It's your duty to stop, prevent,
De-escalate?
to de-escalate. To de-escalate.
Yeah, then when shit go left, then that's when we just take matters into our own hands.
Yeah.
That's not our fault. It's just shit went left.
Holding it.
I want you to keep that de-escalate word on your head, because I need you to bring it back up in a second, because I have a theory on that. But now I want to know.
I got you, man. I could talk about something happened worse, but it wasn't towards me. So I could either talk about the hostage situation that happened. You remember that?
On the roof?
Yeah,
Oh, you was there for that?
I was there.
I was off that day.
I was there. I wasn't. I was working the house, but I was there listening to everything on the radio. So I could either talk about that, or I could talk about when my man's got into a fist fight with an inmate, and the inmate ended up breaking his
Giannis is not here. Oh, you mean? Oh, my fault. Another.
yeah, somebody else, man. And the inmate broke his
Clavicle.
what you call this?
Cheekbone, whatever, clavicle.
Yeah, clavicle, cheekbone, something, and basically he had to get surgery.
Wait, who?
Cause if not, his eye would have fell back inside his head or something like that, bro.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
My man's right
H.
before Christmas.
H.
Right before Christmas?
Yeah.
Wait, which one? Which one?
H, yo, he did clinic escort. Tall black dude.
Oh, Hewlett.
I didn't want to say the name, that's why I said H.
No, we can talk about Hewlett now, because
Oh, okay.
Hewlett might be on
Clavicle was wrong.
officer recognition, because I thought you was talking about the Spanish dude that was in 9 South. He was an intake worker that started working 9 South. Good dude. He went down right before Christmas time, and then they tried to rush him back to work. Like he had his shit broke for helping out, and he helped out a fucking captain. Like he abandoned his post to go help out, and they didn't have his back. And I was so tight at that situation.
Nah, that was a different one, man.
Because he went out.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the hospital to see him. And I don't want to put his name out because I don't know if he wants the story told. Because he was an intake. He was an intake with us. He was on 7 to 3 intake. And I just remember going to the hospital and him saying, they talking about surgeries and shit. This is right before fucking Christmas. And him he's like, I don't want to know nothing about this. Just tell my wife. Because it was such a painful moment for him. Like, he's like, I don't know what's going to happen. He had, his whole half of his face was covered and shit.
Yeah.
And he went there to help out other officers, which was crazy to me.
He wasn't supposed to be there.
He wasn't even the main guy on the set, and he was trying to calm the inmate down. The inmate struck him. I even know this. I know the inmate as well. I had a lot of dealings with the inmate. He's, again, if he think it's one of those inmates that if they think they can get away with it, they're gonna try it.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, yo, this inmate's arm should have been broke.
Bitch ass.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
And that was for the holidays too. You know, you want to look
right
nice
before
for the
Christmas.
holidays for your family.
He literally
and all
went out
that.
on like December 23rd or 24th. That's how bad it was. He got kids. He got like.
And they had to go to the hospital for Christmas.
And he didn't. It wasn't like he was trying to instigate a fight. He was on some. Yo, let's chill out. I'm just trying to get you back into. And the inmate took full advantage of this situation. So he hit him.
So wait, when they hit the officers, what happens to them?
They're supposed to go to the hospital as well, but that was old corrections. Now you.
Hospital as well for what? Because your hand hurt?
No, because we broke his fucking hand.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go to the hospital.
They're supposed to go to the hospital at the same
time.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Got
supposed to go to the hospital too. That was when we brought it up. Fear of the unknown. If you put your hands on an officer, 2 ambulances should be getting called. One for the officer, one for the inmate.
Last time. I don't
It's
know.
a fucking fact. But that doesn't happen anymore. It's now, let's get an ambulance for the officer. Maybe if he can't stay for overtime, we'll get the ambulance for him.
Facts.
And then it's
they got to make sure you can't work.
yeah, you can't work. You're sure?
The
Because
ambulance.
all right, so what? You just need a few stitches, but we can put you back on post, right? That's how they moving now. Which, like, when I say it's trash, it's trash.
Yeah, that's trash.
Like it's
Yeah.
bad, and I can't stand. Let's say people who would even dare to fix their mouth to say some shit like that. Like if you're a captain and you're like, oh, you got to tell this man no. First of all, you're the captain. You're the line of defense between the officer.
You the supervisor.
You're the supervisor between that officer. If you know the officer just did his fucking job, and they tell you got to hit the officer with a CD, you stand up for him. We missing that. That's when I say we. Corrections is definitely missing that.
Yeah,
they don't have nobody to
that's the
stand
main
up
topic.
for you.
Yeah,
Like they don't have a supervisor to go. They have very few. I won't say they don't have any. They have very few. I've met a few. I've met a few in GRVC. I've met a few in Manhattan House that would be like, nah, we're not doing that to him. Because they know they were in the right. But shit is rare. Because they put the pressure on the captain. If you don't do it to them, we're going to write you up. Shit like that.
Oh.
So it's a lot for people to even have to stand on. It's fucked up in there. It's fucked up.
And all that come from the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like they always trying to get somebody for something.
So
Whether you did your job the right way.
To avoid them getting hit.
Exactly, man. But everybody's still coming after your job, man.
No matter what. No matter what. All right. So when you say you heard that use of force.
Yeah. I was in the building for both of those situations.
I wasn't in the building for
I
either
just
one of
did.
those.
I
Those are
didn't.
both of my past days.
I wasn't in the area that it happened in, but I was still in the building. It's just hard because one thing I can say about any job, man, whether bad or good, law enforcement in particular, the good aspect of the job is the people you work with. You always gonna meet those good people and all that stuff, and you never want nothing wrong to happen to your partner or anybody on the job. But when that situation happens, it's upsetting. Because you can't control the outcome of somebody's actions.
There you go. I like that. I like that. You can't control the outcome of
You know, you
somebody
can
else's
you can never do that, and due to that fact, that's why certain people get hurt. Also, another officer, this girl, S,
Which house?
when they stomped her out in 7 West when she got stomped out.
I wasn't there for that. Oh, I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, I was there for that one too, man. I was actually on the floor underneath. She was on 7, I was on 6. And I just heard on the radio, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I ran upstairs and I just see everybody there. And I'm like, oh, so I came too late. But me leaving was a problem too, because they still come after you, like, why you there
Why did
instead
you
of
leave-
on
yeah,
your
why did
post?
you
So
leave
now
your
it's like,
post?
why you left your post? I'm like, because our fellow officers getting hurt.
So certain times,
So I'm showing up.
like I'm not gonna like certain times you're gonna leave your post.
Yeah.
I'm leaving my post if I think
To
my
protect
partner or
someone,
somebody.
yeah.
Yes, but you can still they'll come after your job for that shit, which is crazy to me. It's not that you helped officers as you left your post. What could have happened at your post?
All
right.
My partner could have got saved.
I always go by. Well, I started recently going by the wind model.
I don't know. It's fucking cold in here.
You're cold. I'm fucking sweating.
Jacket.
Set the umbrella.
I said it's cold. He said you want the umbrella. What?
I go right now. I move by. You say you're cold. I'm sweating right now. I go by the wind model.
Front of the-
What's important now? This is an acronym that I learned from my
What's
job.
important now?
What's important now?
Oh, that's nice.
Win. So, if an officer's getting assaulted, that's the most important thing to me at the moment. It might not be the most important thing to policy, but that's the most important thing to most officers that are in the fight.
Yeah.
What's important now? That officer's safety is important to me right now.
And you also want to try to prioritize, was certain things over others.
Yes.
And
My house is good. They're eating chicken. Why the fuck wouldn't I go up to
It's
see what the
chicken.
fuck is going on with this officer?
Yeah.
If something happens in my house, I'll accept those consequences. But right now, I've been in here for the last 4 weeks. I've been in here for the last 3-4 months. I know what's going on in this house. Nothing. Right at this moment, nothing. There was an officer getting assaulted. Why wouldn't I want to respond to that? That's how I look at most of those situations. Like I can tell you my worst. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I'm generally always happy. I always got a smile on my face. Even at my new job, they go, "Yo, Mac, why you always so happy?" First of all, I'm out of corrections. I'm definitely got a smile on my face.
facts. That's what I be saying.
Smile, huge as fuck, right? I come in, but even when I was in corrections, I had a smile on my face. I said good morning to everybody. I wanted to make sure everybody had a good time around me. I wasn't.
Just a good morning from
Yes.
a fellow officer could go a long way.
Yes,
Man.
and I wasn't the negative Nancy. I'm not the. I don't have those issues. They say, "Yo, how you doing today?" I'm always good because I know 90% of the time I'm always good. I'm chilling. Plus, I know most people who ask me how you doing today just want to hear some negative shit.
All
So,
the time.
I'm always good. That's my answer. I tell them now, like I told them before, if I'm not good, shit hit the fan. And the only time shit ever hit the fan with me was when officers got assaulted.
Facts.
I was there when I don't want to use her name, but she got assaulted by an inmate and had her lip split. She's in the pictures and shit
I
now.
remember that one. I was there for that. I was there. I was actually on the other side of the building when that happened.
Yo, she had her whole lip split, stitches. Like she has that plastic surgery. This is a beautiful woman too. Sweetheart, did nothing wrong. The inmate said he wanted to come out of his cell. She said okay. She radios for her cell to be open. He comes out the cell and hits her in the face with a metal object.
Right off the bat. No
Right?
warning.
There's no
nothing.
warning. There's no.
This is why I say you can't control somebody's
You
actions.
can't. There's not a verbal altercation between them. There's not a, oh, you're gonna stay in this cell, motherfucker. There's none of that. You wanna come out? Yeah. All right. Open this up. He came out. First thing he did was right in the face with a metal object. Split her shit clean across. I mean, you can flip it open. That's how her shit got split.
It was bad. It was real bad. Blood all over.
We don't know this. All I heard was the alarm go off. I forgot where I was coming from.
Most likely intake.
Yeah, but I wasn't in intake at the moment. And I remember getting to the alarm setup station. I was in intake, But I was moving around in the building at the time. Like I was probably dropping off bodies or something like that. When I say dropping off bodies, I was delivering inmates to their housing areas.
Oh, because I was like, what?
Yeah, I was bringing people. I was in transport, like
You saw that
traveling with a
confused look
group
on
of
my face,
inmates
didn't you?
somewhere. Because I did a lot of movement. So all I remember is getting to the station, to the suit up station where we got to be the turtles. When I say the turtles, we got to put the whole uniform on. So we got the big shields, we got the riot gear.
Okay.
And goes, I mean,
Leak love.
and Leak Love goes, yo, it's bad. Don't worry, I'm gonna edit it, I know. But Leak Love goes, yo, it's bad. I said, what you mean? They said, yo, they just dragged this man down the stairs and his head hit every fucking step on the way down. Because he's looking at the camera set up, because we have the cameras at the station. I said, fuck it, we going up there. Like, I don't know what happened yet. So we run up, we get dressed, we get suited up. It's less than a minute because we're like, shit hit the fan. So we're as fast as we can throwing shit on. We run up there, we get up there. I get to the door, and there's an inmate on the vestibule. The inmate is passed the fuck out. He's knocked out. He's laying there, he's bloodied, and he's on the vestibule. And I'm like, yo. So they're like, yo, we need medical. My captain, it was my captain for it. My captain goes, yo, we need medical right now for the inmate. We still don't know what happened. We just know that the inmate is fucked up. He just hit every stair on the way down. And we in a crib house too. So shout out to them for doing what they had to do, but then we still had problems right afterwards.
Yeah.
Because what happened was we're there. We get there, we're calling for medical. Medical's coming up. They're waiting. They finally get there. And we don't go into the housing area yet because the housing area is lit. They got a bunch of people there. It's still the morning. It's early morning. So one of the Crips sees me and he goes, yo, Mac, just make sure you get the weapon too. We left it out there. I said, what y'all talking about? I'm like, yo, why y'all do this to this man? He goes, yo, he hit her. He hit our officer.
Our officer?
I said, yo.
The good thing is, I don't want to cut you over stuff. When you work a specific area and you there all the time, and the inmates know you, you build a rapport with them.
Okay.
So once they like you, it's like, yo,
they don't want you to move.
Yeah, we got to do whatever we got to do to keep you here. You know what I'm saying? Because they know if they need something, you're going to get it done. Not everybody's going to do that, but once you there all the time, you end up doing everything that they need. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're going to bring in the extra shit.
You don't need the extra shit, but the basic, you're going to do your job.
You're going to be fair.
You do your job. You know what I'm saying? So once they see they have somebody like that all the time, they try to keep you there.
You build a rapport with them in order for them to know that you're going to do your job. Because you can say it and never do it, then they'll never believe you. Like your word goes, Scarface rules, word and your balls go a long way in jail. Yeah, I'm going to use that for the female CEOs too, because their word and their vaginas go a long way in jail without using their vaginas, but
Facts.
Their chesticles. So, this is why. So we're there, and I'm suited up. I'm with my team, right? And he tells me that shit. I said, "What you mean he hit the officer?" I look. I'm trying to find the officer. The officer's in the bubble. She's holding her face like this, and you just see her crying. I still don't understand what's going on. It didn't fully process yet. So I went over, I was like, yo, I think I sent somebody, I think it was the Panamanian Phenom, Reed. I sent them, I said, yo, find out what's going on with the officer. She's in there holding her face crying. We don't know why she's crying. We thought she just got hit. We didn't know that her shit was split open like that.
We didn't know the inmate.
She didn't pull the alarm. Another officer pulled the alarm for her. So we didn't know the extent of the injuries and the damage, which fucked me up. Because the minute I seen that shit, she goes like this, and you just know it's fucked up. Now, we have the whole medical team here for this inmate. And we had medical team, and they weren't inadequate because they could not lift this inmate up to put him on the gurney. All right? They couldn't lift him. They're like, yo, they wanted the officers to help. And while this is happening, I see her actually injured.
So no one knew she was injured.
Nobody knew she was injured because she was just holding her face crying. I don't think she knew she was injured.
Not that bad.
And we don't get the whole story from.
You don't get the whole story
Well,
from.
once you hit the alarm, you press the button for help. We don't get the whole story. It's
just know you
based
gotta
off what we
show up.
see from that moment that the alarm went off. We put the cameras on to see what's going on.
You good?
So
You good?
from that moment on is all we know. What happened prior to them pressing the alarm, we don't know until we get there.
And then even when we got there, we did not know. And then when I seen her bleeding, it immediately shifted. My whole personality shifted from fuck this inmate that's on the floor right now to this officer needs help. I'm officers first. Just what it is. If an officer needs help, I'm going to deal with that officer before I deal with this inmate, especially the inmate that caused the officer to get hurt. What the fuck are we doing here? They grab her. I told Reed to grab her. Reed runs in there. He grabs her. He pulls her out. He's like, yo, we got to hit medical. We got to go to the clinic right now. We have clinic staff trying to help this dude. And they're like, well, what up? You're not asking me at this moment. And at this moment, nobody can tell me anything. There's no captain that can tell me anything. There's no ADW that can tell me anything. I'm flying my own flag right now. An officer's injured. Everybody's flag should be the
More
same.
than injured.
We didn't know that. We didn't know the extent
I
yet.
know, but still,
But
like the fuck.
the injury itself was everybody's flag should be automatically flying for the officer. Get this officer to safety. Get this officer medical attention. Get her needs taken care
A
of.
drop of blood means you need serious medical attention.
So, and I remember people looking at me because I take over situations. My personality is, shit hit the fan. I will become the person. I'll become a leader when I need to be a leader. I hate leading.
We know.
I hate leading. I'm gonna let everybody else lead, and I'll let you march me right to the edge of that cliff, and I'll watch you fall off, and I'm like, dumbass. But in this situation, I'm like, I can't. There's no wait around. Get her to medical. Get this. They're like, but what about the inmate? Yeah, what about the inmate? Fuck him right now. I'm just happy he didn't die because I didn't want anybody getting charged with murder behind his punk ass. Not that I didn't care if he died or not. I didn't care.
You just want somebody else to get in trouble.
I didn't want nobody else to get in trouble for doing the right thing. Right? If you kill a man who's in the process of raping somebody, that man should die.
I agree.
It's how I fucking feel. It might not be the laws and the rules of the books, but you might have to say stop, whatever. No, if you're doing something that's going to affect somebody for the rest of their life, if you're trying to injure, maim, bodily harm them, mentally, physically, for the rest of their fucking life, you're going to destroy their life, you can die in that process.
I agree.
And that's just the way I look at things. So I will follow the rule book until it's not time to follow the rule book anymore. At this point, it wasn't time to follow the rule book.
Yeah, that's
the
why
rule
you
book says
that's
get
why
the
you didn't even
inmate
care about the
attention.
consequences. You
Yeah.
just take any consequences that come at you.
I'll take the write-ups. I'll take whatever comes with me because I'm doing the right thing. I will always do the right thing. That's how I feel. I will always do the right thing.
Yeah, our morals is more important than what the rules say.
Yes. So we got her out of there, and what was fucked up, because this dude was laid out, and I just hope that he didn't die. But I also had an interaction with the Crips at this moment, right? With that crib, I was like, yo, thank you. I told the motherfuckers, thank you.
Yeah, shout out to those motherfuckers too, man. Cause
To the people who held that one down, because
inmates be inmates, man, but they actually helped out that officer
inmates
that day, man.
will be inmates, and I fuck with most of the inmates that are there because
At least the real ones, the ones
Yeah.
that they wouldn't assault or wouldn't put hands
Because they're there for
on any
business.
female officer.
they're there for business or because their situation was fucked up, right? But they still know right from wrong. Those are the inmates I fuck with. If you know right from wrong, you know you did wrong, guess what? You're not going to tell me, yo, Mac, they're going to be like, I did wrong. It's all good. I understand the consequences, which, like I said, in that situation, I understand the consequences. So I can't be mad at anybody else. And I fuck with the inmates that are like, oh my God, another inmate just hit this woman for no reason. They knew what was right and what was wrong. It's not that it was jail, it was right and what was wrong. You're not just gonna put your hands on somebody, not woman or not. You're just not gonna put your hands on somebody
For no reason.
For no reason. I understand reasoning.
Because you're mad at something else.
We don't even know if he was mad or whatnot. He was an MO. He shouldn't have been in the house.
MO.
Mentally observed. He was.
Oh.
Yeah, he
EDP.
should have. He was an EDP.
Now that I understand.
But it was fucked up because they say EDPs are non-violent or whatever. They try to pull that shit off. Yeah, tell that to this woman who had to get hours of plastic surgery. But when she went down like that, I just remember that, and I remember going back to the crib, and I remember me and O was there, and I even told, well, we were telling the Crips, we like, yo, just go to your cell real quick. We're gonna let you out because they thought a lockdown was coming because obviously an officer got assaulted. Shit hit the fan. So they thought a lockdown was coming. So they was like, Mac, we're not going into our cell. You want to go into your cell. Because I said I'm not locking down this house. In my conscience, I couldn't lock down this house. So nobody's going to tell me to lock down this house. I'm not going to do it. Again, what's right is right. I always felt like this since even my bouncing day. Like, just who I am.
That's by itself.
Yeah, just who I am. Right
Morals,
is right.
man. It's the morals.
So y'all took care of y'all took care of a dude who assaulted an officer for us. I can't lock you in. I need you to go in until 8 o'clock, though, right? To make it look good for the cameras. You got to make a movie. You got to make it look good. They didn't lock in. And I got tight at that because now we had to actually do some shit because we went in there and we fucked their commissaries up. We started stomping on chips and shit. The Dep had to... Allegedly, like, the Dep, the warden. We got talked to by captains, Deps, and wardens. Me and O went in there and fucked their whole... Because we was tight. But we wasn't tight at them. We was tight at the situation. So we violated. We violated. Because we told them, this is what we need you to do. And they didn't believe us. But we have never lied to y'all. And we still don't lie to you. I don't lie to people to this day about shit like this. Only people I lie to is my girls. You feel me?
Facts. Nah, I'm lying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't West Coast, like, in this situation, because in jail, like I said, all you have is your word and your balls. So you can't, if you ruin
your
one
word
of those.
in jail go a long way, man. Your word in jail go a long way.
Yo, like I said, on the first episode, you was here. Whenever I told you I was going to pick up an inmate at 5 o'clock in the morning, I went and picked up in that fucking inmate. Because the minute I say, yo, I'm going to pick that inmate up, and then I don't go pick him up, guess what happens? Nigga, you ain't never doing this shit again. He can say, yo, Mac, no. And I'll lose a whole fucking ally because of some bullshit. And even when it was funny because people would tell me, yo, just leave him in the house until 7 to 8. No, I got to get him now. That was my shit. I got to get him now because I told him 5 o'clock. And unless I told him something different, like, yo, he might be in here to 7. He might be in here, But whenever I said I'm getting an inmate out, they're going to see me again because I'm going to be the one that's grabbing this inmate out.
What do you mean out? Like out to where? To go somewhere
Let's say he has court. He doesn't belong in that house. The house might want to fuck him up.
Okay.
But the minute they see me, they like, yo, Mac. And I'll give the house the look like every one of y'all could be in this situation. Mm-hmm. Don't put yourself in front of me because I won't violate any of y'all, so don't violate me. And most inmates got that. So I got a lot of interaction with inmates like that. Like they knew down to the handcuff parts. I would never put another inmate that was handcuffed around somebody who wasn't.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
No, but they'll be like, yo, that's my man. We from the same house. And I'm like, it doesn't matter to me because I'm never going to set you up. When I ask people when they new admissions, when they come into the jail, I ask them, what gang are you a part of? They look at me like, they don't want to tell me. Okay, don't tell me. I'm going to look you up. And if the information doesn't add up, I'm going to put you in some place where you might not belong. The information didn't add up because you didn't want to speak up. But if you tell me, yo, I'm a blood, there's no way I'm going to ever put you in a crep house. You tell me what kind of blood you are, there's no way I'm going to put you with the ops because I was never one to set people up like that. I'm not that guy. And this comes from somebody who's had complaints, 3-on-1 complaints. People came at me because they said I set them up to get fucked up.
And it was never true.
Never said any. You know who said that shit? The man that went to your fucking crib and got his shit rocked. The dude that I remember, I don't know if you remember the time that I was in your crib and I spent about an hour there. And I remember sitting at the fucking table because the motherfucker wouldn't lock in. He got so, I remember you was like, yo, Mac, I'll just deal with him. And eventually I was like, all right, fuck it. Because he ain't want to lock it. He said, I'm not locking it as long as he's there. And you came and talked to me. You was like, yo, Mac, just go. I'll take care of him.
When you said the dude that went to his house
I know
automatically,
who
I
you
thought you
talking
meant his
about.
actual house.
No, he,
Like, somebody knew your address?
In jail.
he was only supposed
No,
to be
no, no,
there
no.
for-
It took me a second. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
No, he was only supposed to be there until the morning time. He said,
Yeah.
"Yo, Mac, just and I remember bringing him up, and I remember him running away from me, and I went to Rodan and grabbed his OC. Rodan was like, "You want my OC?" I said, "Yeah, give me your OC because I don't carry OC." I was like, "Give me your
Yeah.
OC because I'm gonna spray the shit out of this motherfucker." And then I remember him getting in front of the camera with his hands up like this. "You can't spray me. I'm not a threat." Bitch made all the fucking way. And I'm like, "Dogs, I don't want to spray you. I just want to put you into the housing area. I just want to put you in." And then he just flipped. And then he's like, "I could live anywhere." And I was telling niggas, put it on paper. And what was crazy, because your house was asleep at this point.
Yeah, everybody was asleep that
So
day.
wait, when they put it on paper, it's like a disclaimer
Yeah.
or something?
Yes, because
Yeah,
it's if you
They
put it on
can't
paper.
claim that you-
Yes, because I said put it on paper. Say you can live wherever you want, and I'll leave right now. And he was like, "I don't sign shit for the cops."
And he got scared because he knew you was gonna throw him somewhere where he not supposed to be.
And it wasn't. I was gonna throw him anywhere. Tell me where you belong, because everybody fucked with me in there. There's not a housing area that I did not, and this is what I love. There was not a housing area that I was not allowed to not walk in. I was in GRVC, baby. Price on my head, bag on the head. And I walked into every housing area, and I respected every officer that was able to walk into every housing area. And I seen officers not be able to do that.
I seen that too, man. I went into triples because of that.
They're like, "Nah, he's no good here." And the officer be like, "Nah, I'm no good there." Nigga, you an officer. What are you fucking telling me
They
that?
just walked right away, man.
And in GRVC, I seen this shit. Shout out to Shorty. Oh, damn. I'll show you a picture of her. This bitch was bad. She was bad. Her man wifed her up. I worked with her man too. And I understood the wifing because she was bad. She was a baddie. And I remember she deadlocked the door, right? Because I came in there with an inmate, right? And I brought the inmate in, and then shit went left. And I remember motherfuckers pulling out shanks. And because of my word, they didn't shank him. They had a conversation with him outside. They said, "Yo, Mac, you got to bring him back to intake." After they had a conversation in the vestibule, it was me, the two inmates, the inmate that was running the shit with the big ass shank, and the inmate that was trying to get into the house.
Yeah.
He dropped flag. It didn't work out. So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna take him back." And he was like, "Yo, Mac, I ain't shank him because," and like there was a bunch of times where inmates didn't shank somebody because of me. So I understood it because of who I stood for, like what I stood on. So I said, "All right, bet." I took him back. I said, I'm never trying to line no inmate up. Took him back. Right? I went back to that house later on to put somebody else in there that could live in there because GRVC was full, so you only get one person at a time in a house. So I brought another person. He could live. And I went to the bubble, and I'm chilling in the bubble. I'm in intake. There's two intakes in GRVC. There's regular intake, and then there's like the box special intake. So it's weird. So the box
sound weird.
special intake, one of they dudes brought a guy who couldn't live in that fucking house. Well, he could live in that house. But what the dude did was, what they would do is they would go to the fucking door, tell the officer in the bubble to buzz the door open. Then they would push that inmate in and close the door behind them.
That's a setup.
It's a setup. Whatever officers on that floor don't know what the fuck is going on. There's no floor card being exchanged. There's no nothing. They just threw it in there, and now it's whatever it is. If he can't live, he might get stabbed right there. The officer's not in there, so it's not going to be on him. It's going to be on the fucking floor officer that didn't even know he came in. Setup. I was in the bubble at this time. I forgot why. It was bullshit. I was probably hollering at some chick. Not the gorgeous one. She is
Another
gorgeous.
one.
Granted, there's a bunch of good-looking females. She was gorgeous. She didn't let that motherfucker out the vestibule. She locked the bubble door and didn't let him out the vestibule. She said, "I'm not letting you out till I know he's good. You should have went in there with him." This motherfucker, this is an officer. He starts banging on the door. "You let me in the bubble." She's like, "No, go in the house." He don't want to go in the house because he don't know if that dude is good either. I'm in there.
She G-checking that
She's
motherfucker.
G-checking him. I'm in there fucking mesmerized.
And this
Like,
is an officer G-checking another officer.
yes. And I was
Man. Make
over
sure
there.
he could hold his own.
I'm just like this. I got my dumb face on
Oh my God.
because I'm not saying a motherfucking word. Because I kind of don't want him to know I'm in the bubble. Because I just seen the pussiest shit in the world. Because I literally just came from having the de-escalated situation to watching this chick do her motherfucking thing. And she did that, and like she gained so much respect from me. And this is how she moved in there. Like, you wasn't gonna disrespect her post at all. And she looked too good to be doing this shit. Like, she could have been, she could have been adept by now.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know what is this? Sometimes as an officer, like, you want to make sure you could work with somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to work with just anybody. You gotta make sure you could work with that person. You know, they on the same time, same page, everything's the same. If not, it's gonna be a little problem. Cause you don't want shit to go left and you by yourself. You know, you always want somebody to back you up.
She might have deleted her fucking Instagram. I'm looking for it right now. Oh no, bong bong. She is. Hold on.
I don't think I've heard you say that too many times in life. I want to see. Now I'm nosy.
Dayroom.
All right, so here we go. We were talking about uses. We got distracted.
The bad use of force that we see.
But I want to hold on. No, I want to talk about that brings us in
De-escalating?
de-escalation. Yes, I like the way you just put that. That brings us into a question I had.
Yeah.
Not really a question, more of a comment.
Uh-huh.
My comment used to be anybody who has ever worked in DOC for a year will make the best PD cops, period.
Why?
I believe that statement is true.
For the simple fact is, in this day and age, it's de-escalate every situation first. We believe in de-escalation, right? We want all situations de-escalated. I've taken de-escalation classes as other professions.
Okay.
Outside of DOC, right? My de-escalation classes have never prepared me for actual de-escalation.
It's a learn on the job thing, huh?
Yes, it's a learn by experience thing. And I believe that DOC officers have the best de-escalation tactics of all time.
I'd imagine.
Because you're standing in a room with 40 to 50 inmates
By yourself.
and they are mad at you because you are now law enforcement. They're not mad at you because you did something wrong, but because you are law enforcement. Best learning is on the job training. There's no guns. There's no, I can pull out my OC, because you can pull out your OC, yeah, but you might get your ass beat by the other 20 that do not give a fuck that you pulled out your OC.
And so some of the motherfuckers is used to it.
Yes. And guess what you're going to learn
Eat
right
that shit
right
up like
then and
candy.
there? You're going to learn how to de-escalate a situation.
That's why I realize cops don't de-escalate our situation because they feel like they have the power. They can just stop it right then and there.
Yeah, they think they have authority.
Yeah. And they want to exude their authority. And some of them just abuse their authority. So it's a problem.
In my opinion, de-escalation is something that you build. You know what I'm saying? You could get 100 trainings on de-escalation, but it's not the same when
You in that
you
situation.
in that situation. You feel me? You in that situation, and you trying to calm everybody down, de-escalate everything. And
You know when you will do that shit? When there's 40 inmates looking at you talking
That's what I'm
about,
saying.
I fucking hate you, CO. We don't have enough chicken, CO. We gonna beat the shit out of you, CO. Guess what happens? My brother.
yeah, like you
You
know what I'm saying? You at the same time,
Politicking.
no lie, man, you play the pussy role.
yo.
Sometimes you gotta act like you a pussy, so
No, here we go. It's not pussy. You gotta find humility.
yeah.
You gotta be able to humble yourself. If you can't humble yourself, you're gonna find yourself being extra strong. And there's no extra strong when it's 1 versus 40. That's a dead man.
Pretty much.
Which is one of my strong beliefs is that I believe that every police officer that runs these streets should have some type of corrections background. I believe they should
I
have
agree
to be
with
in there.
that too, man. Like
You have to be
this,
in there.
because I know there's certain officers out there that they think just because they got a badge and a gun they could do and say whatever they want, which is not true.
I knew an officer that said, "I don't care. I have a gun." Like he said,
that's how they think.
he said, "I don't care. I have a gun. I don't care about the situation. I have a gun." He was pussy.
Well, a lot of
But he
them
had a
are.
fucking
A lot of
gun.
them got bullied.
And I'm looking at
you know?
this, and that's real. The
They got
bully.
bullied.
Yo, I believe that too, man. I believe a lot of police officers got bullied in high school.
Yeah.
Which
Not in
made
high
them
school,
become a
all
police
through-
officer.
all
Oh,
through
God.
the academic
And
careers.
now they got a shield and a gun, and they think they could do what they want to do.
Exactly.
Do that shit in jail, my nigga.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. If you was getting bullied before corrections, you gonna get bullied outside corrections.
That brings me to the point where we had, what's this motherfucker name, man?
Hold on. Last time you dropped the name, I got phone calls. Go ahead.
Nah, man, you ain't gonna get a phone call from this motherfucker for a fact, bro.
You're not talking about right?
Nah, dude came from traffic.
That's every one of them.
His
First
name-
of all, 99.9% of traffic officers be mad pussy.
Facts.
That's why they were traffic.
His name is
Especially if they excelled in traffic.
what's his motherfucker name? I think it's the motherfucker that was steady outside perimeter because he couldn't work a crib. That was his name, right?
Really?
Yeah, that motherfucker, bro.
You know what?
Son,
I
that
didn't know
motherfucker-
he came from traffic, but since you said that, everything just fit.
I think he came from traffic. No, he did come from traffic. Matter of fact, he
No,
did.
it fit.
He did. But that's an officer that if he was, like you said, with the shorty you just talked about, if he was to, be with that shorty put that nigga out straight up. Nah, you're not working with me. You gotta go. Because that's an officer that it's a lot of officers like this, man. It's sad to say, but there's some officers that's just like him. They don't know how to de-escalate situation. They don't know how to talk to people. And once somebody get rowdy with them, they just straight scared.
They're scared. They back out. People do stupid shit when they're scared.
You're not respecting my authority. Oh my God.
Yo, put it like this. The gun has always been my last option. I've been carrying a gun since I was 19, legally. The
sure?
gun has always been my fucking last option. I moved to Atlanta when I was 19. 20. Well, 19, 20. But gun has always been my last option. I went to Atlanta, got my first gun legally. Gun has always been I've never at any point, even in my career, been at a point where I said, I need to pull my gun out. Because nobody has ever pulled out a weapon on me. Put it like that. I have to be in fear for my life in order for me to want to go to my gun. It's not, we're going to fight with the fists. I'm going to pull out my gun. It's something has to happen that makes me think, I now have to put you down.
Dayroom.
And that's how I feel. And a lot of these dudes are like, I'm going to go to my gun first.
That's all they got.
It
It ain't first. It's just the only thing they got.
That's simply the
It's
sad
really
truth.
they can't fight. They don't got no kind of hands. They
That
have no
is
kind
crazy to
of
me.
de-escalation skills or conversation skills. They have
And
no
that's why I
personality.
believe everybody should have de-escalation skills. Everybody should go into a jail.
My
And
thought-
you know that also brings a bigger issue. It's a bigger issue with that, with officers like that. Those same officers end up building time. So now they got 10, 15 years on the job,
Pussy.
and that's how everybody know them.
They got kitty cat time.
But this the same officers that train the new officers.
Yeah, they got kitty cat time.
Ain't gonna teach them
The
same
best
bullshit.
officers are the officers that was actually in the field, that was actually about it, that didn't go to their gun first. The best officers are the ones that saying, we don't need this shit to happen tonight, so let's prevent this shit from it. The people who prevent things are way better than people who try to solve the issues after they've occurred.
Yeah.
Let's prevent this.
I like the prevention part. I ain't got time for that.
And
shit.
that's me. I want to prevent 90% of the shit. If shit kicks off, I'm there for it. I'm there for it. Like I come to work for knowing that this could happen. But I don't come to work hoping that this happens.
You know what I learned? No one rarely ever punches the comedian, right?
Nobody what? I can't hear that.
Rarely punches the comedian, right?
No, they do.
So I feel like I said rarely, nigga. I mean,
She said,
Get on stage. I'll punch the shit out of you.
She said,
what I'm
really,
saying
nigga.
to you is the ones who don't really know how to de-escalate. I feel like if they made it like maybe a humorous situation as opposed to getting all rowdy or something like that, maybe it might help as some form of de-escalation. Like if they don't have any other words they can use or something. I don't know. I just feel like when you gave the example of it being one of them and 40 people in the house, and someone saying, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, CO." I mean, at that point is when you make a joke like, "Look,
No. The comedians go far in jail. If you can, humor goes a long way because
That's what I'm saying.
everybody's
I feel
mad.
like it would.
Yeah.
My number one thing in jail was laughing, and Mills can attest to that because I've laughed my way through
Shout
the
out to
academy.
Mills. He's
Shout out to
a good
Mills.
guy.
I was like, who the hell was this? Your name?
Yeah,
He'll
a
come
good
on the
dude.
show
He's gonna come on in time.
I don't want to drink all that juice.
Our normal, like literally, I laugh every.
I know.
That my shit is laugh. Shit could go left. Everything is fucked up at the moment. I'm gonna laugh. People have threatened me, motherfucker, this, and I start laughing because my first instinct is to laugh because if you're not a threat, or I don't perceive you as the threat, I'm gonna take you as a
Joke.
joke. Yeah, I'm gonna take you as a joke unless you show me
Jester.
otherwise.
Jester.
Take another step, and then the laughing might stop. But as long as you're far away from over there and telling me you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna laugh.
It's a joke.
The minute you tell me you caught 4 bodies, and I look at your record,
I'm gonna laugh.
you're there for stealing $100.
I'm laughing.
But he killed everybody in the process.
Yeah, dogs. It's weird. It's weird. Like when an MS-13 tells you something, you're like, okay, cool. Because generally they're not lying.
Facts. Those the motherfuckers that they tell you the truth and you think they lying.
But what's crazy is they're some of the best inmates that you could ever have.
Yeah. Because they got respect.
They got respect. They're like, yo,
100%.
They don't need to make their time harder. So, hey, CO, like every day is, hey, CO, hey, what do you need? You're like, yo, it's locking time. Oh, don't worry, CO, I'm going in 5 minutes before lock-in. They're not even there when it's time to lock people in. They're not looking for the respect in the jail.
Because it's like, I'm trying to get out of jail so I can do what I got to do.
Yes. And I will always shout out, like, one of my favorite, it's fucked up because he was one of my favorite inmates. And I say that respectfully because I know he pulled his blade out and he banged out a few COs.
Oh.
His name was
MS-13, nigga, right?
big M30, big. He was 6 foot. First of all, MS-13s generally don't get past this height. He was a 6 foot MS-13, cool as shit. Salvadorians, El Salvadorians. Yeah, I guess that. Wow.
It's in the blend. It's in the blend.
But he was like, he said, and I seen the first, like when they told us in the academy, you see a red ID, that means they do things. And he had a big ass red ID. Everything was red.
What?
It means
Red ID. Explain
that
red
they're
ID.
assaultive.
Oh, okay.
They're highly assaultive with weapons.
So that's basically like when you moving him from one spot to the next spot, it's a red ID that come with him. It identifies like, yo, be careful with this guy because he's highly assaulted.
Now, when I went to GRVC, that was over everybody's ID. Pretty much everybody's ID. It was like, huh, damn. But he was there. He was the big homie. He was the big MS-13. He was the big homie. And he comes up to me. He goes, yo, Mac. And I got to talk to him on a daily basis. Because he was one of the inmates that didn't like the checks.
With the red
checks mix?
checks?
Yeah, he didn't like the red checks.
What?
He liked,
That was red. That was red.
He was a rare inmate. 6 foot El Salvador. Yeah, he was rare. So he goes, nah.
He like the Raisin Bran?
Yes. He wanted the shit. He wanted the shit regular.
Yeah, I remember that motherfucker.
That's why he had a good attitude, because he wanted shit.
So he goes up to me, and I one day I was like, yo, why is your ID red? Like, because you're too cool. He goes, yo, Mac, I hate the spray. Officer tried to spray me. I just stopped him in his face.
Just stabbed him in the face?
Yeah.
He just stabbed him in the
Yes.
face?
Then he goes, but you realize something. You don't stab in the face, too many bones. You stab in the neck.
Oh, my God.
He was dead serious.
I know. I can imagine.
This is what this man is telling me.
Yeah, what was your response?
You think I had a response? I was like, the same dumbass face I'm giving.
Like, oh, okay.
Like, I don't know how to respond to that. Them MS-13 dudes was different.
Like, yeah, I know you
Yeah, man,
stabbed him in the neck, right?
they were
MS-13.
a different breed, man.
Like-
Very respectful people, man. But
Yo,
violent. When it's time to get
when it's
violent,
time
they
to
get
get
violent.
violent,
They
we're
were with the
going
shits.
all the way with it.
Yeah.
There was a little dude in the house, right? Because I'm in 6 North, right? I got the MS-13s and the Trinitarians, right? The Trinitarians are running shit, but they just don't run the MS-13s. There's only 4 of them in my house. Four MS-13s. They have their way with anything they want, but they don't want anything, which is the craziest shit. Like, they got their own table. It's 4 of them. Their own table. Nobody else got their own table except for
Their
the
own
Trinitarians.
phone.
Their own phone.
Mind you, it's 4 phones in the house
4 dudes.
for the inmates to use, so they could alternate.
And they don't, when I say they are respectful, like they're the best inmates that you could think of until you try to pull some dumb shit off on them. So, and he like that dude. He told me I always got it on me, and he told me that shit. Like he was one of the first people to ever tell me I always got it on me. He said ESU comes, I always got it on me. ESU's not gonna find it. He's sticking this shit up his ass. He's gonna pull his blade out later. Right? So he goes, one of his minions, like there was a young boy. He was 19 years old. First of all, at this point, 19-year-olds was allowed. Motherfucker didn't say nothing to me at all. Like he didn't say nothing to nobody. He literally came out of his cell, watched TV, then went back in his cell for the rest of the day. 19 years old. I'll never forget this motherfucker. Because one day, right, he comes up to me, and like I literally, when I was in 6 North, only black dude. No, it was me and Tyson. Tyson was the inmate. He looked like Mike Tyson, and he was a boxer. And he's the only black dude that lived with the Spanish dudes, and you gotta respect somebody like that. Like he's here for a reason. And he didn't try to be Spanish, no nothing. He was just chill. He's relaxed. He's not on no bullshit. So I go there, and the dude walks up to me. He goes, "Yo, Mac." He walks up to me one day. I'm at the podium. "Yo, Mac." I said, "What's up?" He goes, "Yeah, look at my cases." Little young boy, he's 19. He goes, "They say I committed 4 bodies. I know I didn't do one of them." I go, "What?" He said, "I know I didn't do one of them. You think I get off?"
So I did other 3, but this one I didn't do. Don't put it on me.
This is the one and he's like, look, he was telling me, he goes, "Yo, this one has, they found all the evidence they needed. They found the cell phones used for the hit. They found everything they needed." And I'm like, "Yo, my man, you got to just fight it, you know? Like, I got to give this man hope." Imagine me telling this man you got no hope. What he going to do after that?
Uh-huh.
He's 19, facing 4 bodies. He might just spaz out on me.
Exactly.
No, you can make it. You better just keep fighting, baby. He wasn't making that shit.
Yo, you know what? That remind me of some dude that I had in my house all the time. Man, this guy, humble dude, cool. You know, one of the inmates that I actually talk to on a regular day. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Yo, bro, why you in here?" Because, you know, he's an artist too, so he's drawing that shit. So I'm like, "Yo, when you get out, you should be a tattoo artist. And I'll come to you personally because I like the way you draw." I was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about that." I said, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Yo, so why you in here anyways?" He was like, "Oh, nah, some bullshit with my girl, this and that. Also domestic." "Yeah." I said, you know, shit happens, whatever. I went back, I looked him up, dude in there for murder. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like he just smacked up his girl or something, and then straight up murder. So I'm like, "Yo, who the fuck he killed?" That same girl he was talking about was the one he killed. Mind you, this was a case that happened in Staten Island where you see this guy clearly pushing a dolly with his girl inside there. And he just walking down the block pushing the dolly.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Psychotic break or some shit?
You know what I'm saying?
He cut up.
He
cut her up.
killed her. Straight
Talked
killed
about
her.
it, yeah.
Put her in a dolly and just start walking the fucking block with the dolly like nothing. Fool. Mind
Was
you,
she trying to get an insanity plea?
No.
Because that shit sound insane to me.
it's crazy. And he's like, "Yo, I just domestic." I'm like, "Bro, this
Yeah, that's
is
Domestic?
murder.
Nigga, what?
This is murder."
Maybe in his mind, she's still alive.
And you know what? I'm about to get to that. So I'm there talking to him regular. I'm like, "Yo, this guy ain't here for murder, but he seemed like a cool dude," which everybody do.
Everybody.
Whatever. And then now I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna keep my distance with this guy and all that." And then one time, I think it was like 2 in the morning, everybody just knocked out, and I just hear shit in the back. So I'm like, "Let me walk around to see what's going on." I go to this man's cell, and he's having a full-blown conversation
With
in
the
his
girl?
cell with his girl, talking about, "Yo, I didn't do nothing to you. Like, babe, I miss you. I love you." Blah, blah. Now, I'm thinking he got a cell phone in there. So I look inside the window, and there's no phone. He got nothing in his head, nothing. He's just straight out talking to his girl.
That's what I thought. Some of these people are crazy.
You know? And I'm like, "Yo, like,
We don't use that word.
this shit is..."
People. Some of these animals are crazy. No, I'm
Yeah.
fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
So I'm like, yo, this is wild, cause I talk to you on a regular basis. You seem like a chill, mellow dude. You in here for murder. You thinking you getting away with it, cause you pushing the body and the whole dolly, and I'm there like, yeah, bro, you about to get out, cause I don't want you striking me now. Like if I tell you, yo, you fuck, motherfuckers like that, they don't want to hear that.
What's
So then
crazy-
it's over. Like they attacking you, they doing whatever they gotta do
What's
because
crazy is
they
that-
know it's over.
Like, yo, I got footage of you, my man. Like, this is clear as day. You're caught in Fort K.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, is he trying to go for an insanity plea? 'Cause that shit sound crazy.
God,
don't
man.
know. I
Listen,
doubt it.
everybody
Well,
go
he
for
not
that
white, so he
insanity
can't use
plea,
insanity
and
plea.
it never work
It
out
don't
for them
work
because
out.
they not insane,
Not the
bro.
colored
They-
folks.
The big homie in the big homie Crip. Is a big
The,
homie.
the
or
one on the
homie?
8th floor,
Yeah, the one that got away with.
he got away with murder.
No, he didn't kill her. He cut the body up. He got hit with desecration of a body,
Yeah.
but walked away from the murder charge. So he only caught 3 to 5, and that was time served.
Yeah, man, and he was in there. He was also a humble dude. He ain't
Yo,
caused no problem.
He had the crib
Nothing.
on lock.
Calm
If you
dude.
needed anything, he was gonna make sure the crib moved. He was a pimp. One of his hoes got killed. So instead of bringing the static, he didn't want the static, so he cut the body up. He froze the body, cut the body up, froze the body, and tried to dispose of it.
Mind
And he
you,
got hit with
they
desecration.
found her head in his freezer.
Yeah.
In his freezer where he lived.
Well, how the hell they prove he didn't do it? That's the question.
Yeah,
They
He had a
proved
good
that
ass
he-
lawyer.
They proved he didn't kill her. They couldn't prove that he chopped the body up.
No, they proved that what it was is they couldn't prove murder, but they could prove that he desecrated the body.
There you go.
He was moving the body parts. So he caught that charge. He caught both charges, but he beat the murder charge. Whatever his lawyer is up now, because if you
Yes.
want, come on.
Dayroom.